Dead Rails by itself is a pretty challenging game. There's all sorts of threats out to get you, ranging from zombies to armed cowboys. In today's video, I'll show you some tricks and glitches to make the game much easier. These range from being able to kill the entire town without a gun, to being able to skip an entire section of the game. Now, before we begin, please remember to subscribe. Only 2% of you are subscribed, and it would be really cool if you did. Anyways, let's begin. First off, we have a trick with the Electrocutioner. If you go to this lab at 20,000 meters, rebuild this dude here, and fend off some zombies, you can get the Electrocutioner. This isn't relevant, but if you can't fight off the zombies, you could always just retreat to your train and wait for the storm to stop and then fight them later, but it'll be much harder. Anyways, you're supposed to recharge the gun with lightning from lightning rods, but that could be really annoying to do sometimes since lightning is so hard to come by in this game, and even rarer for it to strike the rods. What you can do instead is to drop the gun next to a crucifix and make some mob walk over the crucifix. As you can see here, my gun is at 10 ammo right now. By putting it down next to a crucifix and making this dude here walk over it, the gun gets completely recharged. This can be super helpful when you need ammo fast and Thunder Knight is not spawning. Overall, this is really useful when preparing to fight the last landmark, but only do it if you have plenty of crucifixes. Next up, we got the fort cannon trick. This is actually pretty unknown, but you can use these cannons on the fort at 50,000 meters, which can make beating the final wave of horse zombies much easier. Before you go use those cannons, however, remember to defeat the initial horde of soldier zombies. I don't think you can really shoot back with these cannons, so good luck. My idiot friend Gabriel somehow found a way to die, but I found out why pretty quickly. This would be way easier if I could aim the cannon backwards. Anyways, once you've killed all the mutants inside the fort, these horse zombies will now spawn. Typically, they're super challenging to deal with, but with the cannon, they're much easier. Looks like some are getting stuck on our train, so sadly we're gonna have to kill them along with some of our horses. Parking your train here is also a strat since you can bunch them up and then kill them without worrying about them charging in. And you can just deal with stragglers like I am doing here, simply just charge in and headshot them. This makes defeating the fort about 10 times easier, and it is extremely hard to die while on the cannons since the horse zombies don't know how to get up to you. Remember to do this next time you try to raid the fort. Next up, we got something more simple. After you defeat the town like I did here, sometimes the banker zombie might be hidden somewhere. It'll become impossible to get the code to open these vaults. So, something else you can do is glitch in. How, you ask? First, just take any horse, dead or alive, and put it in your sack like I have here. If it's alive, steer it to face directly towards the wall you want to glitch in like I have here. Now this'll take a few tries, but put the horse in your sack and unequip. Eventually it should be stuck in the wall with only its cheeks outside. Now you can hop on and just like that you're in the vault. All this gold and silver is now yours for taking. To get out, just simply do the same exact thing you did to get in. Equip and unequip the horse a few times and you should be able to leave. Be sure not to mess this part up though, since you can end up trapped in the vault if you do somehow mess it up. This is honestly very unnecessary and can end up soft-locking your run, so only do this if you're forced to. Now, if you don't have a horse, something else you can do is to blow up the vault. All you will need is a torch and a dynamite, which you can buy at the start of the game. Take your torch and dynamite and light the dynamite right next to the vault door like this. It should start hissing. Be sure to back up a lot since you don't want to get blown up too. Now the vault door should disappear with the explosion and you'll have access to the inside of the vault. This is way more risk-free than the other strategy, but dynamite and torch isn't something you'd typically bring. But still, I recommend you do buy dynamite and a torch at the start, since this saves a lot of time. Now, we got two very useful glitches regarding the final checkpoint. If you're trying to beat the pacifist quest and can't kill any bandits, something you can do is just to reset character and slowly flop towards the wheel here. When you're dead, you can still open the bridge like I am here. Now all you have to do is just wait. Be sure to have a teammate for this so you don't get kicked out. And for your teammate, they can simply wait at an earlier checkpoint for 4 minutes and you guys will win. This is a pretty simple glitch, but it's obviously going to be patched soon. There's not many cases where this will be useful. Only use this if you're trying to complete a quest, or if you have a major skill issue and can't beat the game normally. Also, if you are alive while opening the bridge but don't want to fight the final boss, something you can do is to go to the end of the bridge and hide on one of these support beams. Bandits and zombies won't be able to get to you, and neither can the boss. This is honestly super useful if you're trying to complete a quest such as the Unkillable quest, which can reward quite a bit of bonds. Just be sure not to fall off, since you'll be sent back to the bridge where you'll probably get mauled. I made this mistake and almost got killed by Nikola Tesla, but luckily the round ended right before it happened. Now, we got something slightly more well-known but still very useful. When you fight the town, it can take a lot of time and effort and can also be quite expensive due to the ammo cost as well as healing items cost. However, this very fast and simple strategy fixes it all. For this, you'll either need a vampire on your team or just a horse, as well as a smart teammate to drive the train. Stop a little before the town like I have here and send off this fast person to go bait the town. If you're the vampire or the person with the horse, try to round up all the zombies and make sure the slow ones don't get too far away from you. Also be careful of sprinters, since they can deal very heavy damage and are an actual threat unlike the normal ones. Once you've made most of the town chase you, lead them onto the rails. If you have a horse, be sure to avoid the train since your horse could die, but most of the time the zombies should be the ones biting the dust. If you do this right, you can kill the entire town in under 5 minutes with quite literally no weapon. This also doesn't count as a kill towards the pacifist quest. I definitely recommend doing this no matter what run you're doing, since it's way more efficient than killing them one by one and way less risky too. Next up, we got a flight glitch. For this, you'll need a dead horse as well as an alive one. This is fairly simple. Just pick up the dead horse and hop on the living one. And now you can fly. Just be careful when turning, since it's really sensitive and you can fall out of the sky pretty easily. Also, don't fly too high or you'll get anti-cheated back to 0 meters. I don't really see where this will be useful other than at the bridge where you can just fly across. Overall, it's still super risky to do, but still worth it. Next up, we have this super simple combat trick. When you're fighting a zombie and hit them with your melee, it'll take some time for the cooldown to reset. This can make fighting very slow and honestly quite annoying. However, there's a very easy way to solve this. For this, find any melee weapon. It can be an axe, sword, or even another shovel. Now click as fast as you can and switch between the two items. Now you can hit zombies twice as fast and get twice as much damage overall. With 4 weapons like I have here, you're pretty much a meat grinder. Vampires don't even stand a chance. My friend, who is super fast at doing this, can basically insta-kill anything. Lastly, we have one of the most simple yet useful tricks in the game. This trick basically defeats the entire purpose of the Alamo class. For this, buy a single barbed wire and take the newspapers from the start. Now take the newspapers and build what I have built here. You should be able to squeeze through sideways, but zombies shouldn't be able to get in. Now put the barbed wire on the roof of your train. I also have some torches here so you can see. This protects against every type of night and also allows you to damage zombies. Werewolves can't even get in either, and you can still hit anything that's outside. And as you can see here, last night, by just swinging my shovel blindly, I was able to kill this werewolf. Pretty broken tactic, and you should always remember to do this if you don't have an Alamo on your team. All these tricks can make dead rails way easier and can come in handy to all skill levels. Whether it be a simple yet very important melee tactic or being able to legit just skip an entire portion of the game, these tricks are honestly very OP. And an honorary mention: if you use the zombie class with the Dynamite vault trick I showed earlier, it can grind bonds super fast, since zombies won't be able to see you open the vault. Sadly, I don't have the zombie class to demonstrate, but you get the memo. Anyways, Please remember to comment down any other tricks you might know and subscribe. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.